Hello and welcome to the Trailer Park Podcast that never gets easier. I just want to fucking die. Um, this is episode something. My name is Hunter, and I have a guest. His name is Chuck.
My name is Chuck.
His name is Chuck.
That's my name.
Exactly. So the point of this episode is mostly as another avenue for me to complain, because I'm also making a video about Cold War zombies. So this is going to be I get two angles of complaining. But
Mm.
my prompt for this sort of this episode is just, was Cold War a good zombies game? That's going to be our main piece of meat in a sense.
Got some
So
very different views here, I'll be honest.
yeah, I want you to open the floor.
I think Cold War was a very mid-level zombies game.
Okay. I would agree with you for the most part. Oh, wait a minute. Can you
I think
talk for a
it
second?
was lacking.
Oh,
So,
there we go. My Discord, I thought Discord audio isn't being recorded. We're good.
no, we're fine. I thought it was a bit lacking for pretty much the whole time. And, like, when it was good for, like, a week, and that was about it.
I think that's what really kind of grinds my gourds in a sense. I it was like game release, had a wonderful time with it. The D Machina was a pretty good map. It was fun. We played it a good amount. Um it wasn't something that we just dropped like immediately after playing it. We played a bit of it, had fun with it, did the Easter egg. I did the Easter egg solo, like, and we tried a whole bunch of shit with it. But then just nothing came out for so long. Because we
Yeah,
didn't,
I was stuck playing D Machine for, like, a month and a half maybe,
it was like 2 months because
and it was
Firebase
way too long.
Z didn't come out till February.
Yeah, it was actually, like, 3 months later, an actual new map came out.
Yeah. And it's,
We don't have to move on to Firebase Z just yet, but
yeah, well, we won't move on to that just yet, but we can kind of talk about like the Cold War was like the biggest just change when it comes to like the format or the game format. It was very all the games up until this point have kept that same feel and formula, I'd say, and just added on to it, made some modifications or added like big things. Like felt like Black Ops 4 tried to add a lot and maybe too much. And then
yeah, they changed it a bit. People got mad.
people got mad. Even though as I've played Cold War, my opinion of Black Ops 4 has only grown. And I just think that the changes for the most part felt pretty good, but just as we had to just grind out D Machine, the overall changes started to really be like, damn, this is kind of funky.
Yeah. It was, like, really cool early on, and, it was really new. Everything was actually not that bad, but it's really changed.
Yeah. The it just doesn't feel like the same game mode anymore. Like it has some of the flair and the kind of old, not old style, but just of the old style of the game, but you could just feel a deviation, like a major deviation beginning.
Yeah.
It's a very it's something the video that I've already recorded it. I'm just like finishing editing it. I kind of just say that if like Cold War is like the first step in this sort of congealing of all of the game modes when it comes to progression. Like Black Ops 3 and 4 had zombies progression, but it was for the most part separated from multiplayer, campaign, Warzone and everything. I mean, obviously Warzone wasn't a thing when Black Ops 4 came out, but
Yeah.
they with this game, it seems like Activision is really pushing for every game mode to have this sort of, it adds to your progression. They think progression is what is going to keep player retention. It's what's going to keep people playing the game for the longest time. And it I don't think that's a good model for a game mode that got its community based on the fact that it was a completely separate thing.
Yeah, I think they changed a bit too much here and there. I think the lack of, like, characters that you can get attached to, pretty
Mhm.
bad.
It really
'Cause
breaks
I think
the
playing as a soldier guy who says 10-4, zombie killed, not very fun.
exactly. I'm glad I got to play as an operator whose name is just my name. That
Yeah,
was
that's pretty good.
funny. That was funny for a while, and I've never changed my operator because I do not care about operators. Operators are just another cog in the, progression bullshit. You get them through battle pass or you just buy them with money. And
I
they're
think the
like,
only good thing they would did with it was the, special ones like Rambo and, John McClane and,
it
Scream, or I guess, what is it,
wait,
Psycho Face? Did you
wait,
not see that?
I did not see that.
They added Ghostface to, one of the operator pools, as well as
Wow,
Donnie Darko.
Tony Dark.
Yes.
I wonder what Scream guy has to say about the zombie invasion.
Very cheesy.
Yeah, it feels very Fortnitey. Like just this it's fine for Warzone and like maybe multiplayer since multiplayer is just, you're fighting a bunch of like it is a versus mode online where zombies is a it's like a co-op mode. You can play it online, but it's not a multiplayer I mean versus multiplayer experience. You're not facing off anybody. You're just the whole game mode was about surviving, and now I also just feel like the all the mechanic changes when it comes to survival really makes it so that unless you fuck up, you just live forever. That's like
Yeah.
where the game has gone. It's not about you play Black Ops 3 or 4 and you can just get shit out of luck and have no ammo and like be in a bad situation. And Black Ops 4 is a little bit more uh, it has more mechanics, so it's a little bit easier in
Yeah,
a
it's a lot
way.
easier than Black Ops 3.
Yeah, because there's the special abilities, like the weapons. I can't remember what they call it off the top of my head.
Black Ops 4 on release used to be kinda hard because, like, base difficulty was, like, 3 hits to get downed,
Oh
and there
yeah,
was
but
no Juggernaut, so you couldn't kinda keep yourself alive.
yeah, they really just said we don't want to. That's what I have forgotten about Black Ops 4 was there's just no jug. They were like no jug
Yeah,
this time.
no jug no, a lot of the perks are just gone.
Yeah,
There
they
was no speed cola, there was no, double tap.
and I Black Ops 4 makes me feel like it was an attempt at the studio to really innovate but stay with the roots of the game. And they knew that the main storyline was going to end and they wanted to start another with the chaos storyline and they really were trying to switch it up and I think that is they took missteps, but because they tried to do something like that, it was seen as like such a failure in a sense that we've now gotten this style of zombies that we're getting with Cold War and Vanguard.
Yeah, it feels like you remember when World War II did their own zombies, it kinda feels like that.
Yeah,
Like, this is
exactly.
someone other studios trying to do zombies.
If it just feels like there's way too much outside pressure and too many outside like requirements of the game mode now. It and like I've seen stuff on Twitter and Reddit and everything talking about, like development times and everything. And people try to say you can't blame Treyarch for the state of zombies because they were forced to release it a year early because Cold War wasn't supposed to come out for like another year or something.
Really?
And it was either that or like zombies was supposed to have more dev time specifically. I'm not sure exactly, but it's a very interesting point because it's like I don't necessarily blame Treyarch. I don't necessarily blame Activision in a sense, but that does not mean the game can have such like piss poor amount of content and like such a strain as the maps came out and went on. I feel like the deviation like soured with me more and more, especially
I
as
get
they
it.
just started making these maps bigger and more like just they use multiplayer maps or obviously to create these zombies maps as like a base. It felt as the maps went on like I felt like not Der Eisendrache. What was the third map? Can't,
Uh, Mao Der Toten, I think it was.
yeah, Mao Der Toten. Mao Der Toten was a very good map. It was a very big surprise to me with how bad Firebase Z was.
Oh yeah, we
I
completely skipped over maps. I guess we're just talking about the whole. Yeah,
we're just talking about the whole because we'll touch on it. I mean, there's only 4 maps.
yeah. There's not much to touch on.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if we
don't
want,
forget about the mode that was released on PS5 only.
well, yeah, and we're also forgetting about um oh god, what is that bad game mode I've played twice or 3
Not
times?
a fan of Dead Ops Arcade.
Not Dead Ops. No, they use like the large multiplayer maps
Oh,
and
Onslaught.
yeah, Onslaught.
I think it was, but yeah.
I hate Onslaught with a passion. I did not enjoy it at all.
I thought it was neat, but then they focused on it too much, and I think that was a problem.
Yeah, like I understand, and it feels as if Vanguard is more pushing towards the Onslaught style. Since the
Yeah,
initial zombies map is not going to be round base, it's going to be, jumping around all these maps. It's like that. Okay, we're let us just go through all the things. So the PS4 game mode. Have you played it at all, or like the Sony PlayStation exclusive game mode?
I've seen gameplay of it, but no, I've not really played it.
I
It
played it a
really
few
just looks
times.
pretty lazy.
It is lazy. It's not fun. I have never seen anyone actually like a friend of mine like enjoys it. But I tried playing it, I'm like, "This is neat." I would not play it again.
I would have enjoyed it if I could have played it on launch.
Yeah, it's
Well, I
like,
was like still kind of into the game.
why release the game with such little content and plaster a game like a whole zombies mode in a sense onto a single console? It just seems so counterproductive. It makes like the whole aspect of uh like, it just makes Activision look worse because it's like they just want money. Like, it's all about fucking money. I mean, so many of the systems added to zombies were very much money influenced.
Yeah,
And they kind of make up for that because instead of paying for DLC, we got everything for free, but they have all these skin packs and like you can buy XP stuff and everything and you can buy operators. It's it's almost a I would rather just pay for DLC than have this like bloatware in my game.
yeah. I don't know if it started with like Cold War, if maybe Modern Warfare had it, but there's a lot of the store stuff. I don't like mind the battle pass part because it does give you like the cool in-game content that it's not just skins for free.
Yeah, I
But
think Battle
I
Pass
don't
is
know.
a fine enough feature, but when Battle Pass is causing in-game change, like it is influencing changes to game modes, like I would not believe that battle pass and the in-game store and everything did not play a major factor on how zombies was formed and how it was like influenced in this game because so much of it, like the progression system when it comes to leveling up your perks and everything, can be you can speed it up essentially by having battle pass or whatever it may be because you'll level up faster. You'll get more materials for upgrading perks and abilities and everything. And I think they could have added that just keep the progression like and they can't keep the progression system separate anymore because of things like battle pass. Like Black Ops 4 had a battle pass, but it was just for maps. It wasn't the style where you play and get XP and everything. At least I don't think it was.
I don't actually exactly remember what Black Ops 4 had. It's been quite some time.
Yeah, I think the battle pass was just straight maps. It wasn't anything these modern day shooters and just modern day multiplayer games. Everything has a battle pass now, and I just feel like a that shouldn't be the norm. It should be something like I understand these larger games having it. It just seems like every large multiplayer game has to have it though. As like and it's all boardroom shit. It's all like while everyone is doing this, it's profitable. We're going to do it for our multiplayer game or whatever it is. Like Pokemon Unite has it. Every like Warzone slash the COD games have it. Like so many games just are insistent on Battle Pass now.
Yeah, it's getting a bit too much.
Oh
And a
yeah.
lot of the times, like in the battle pass, they just put some like really, lazy content. Like, hey, your character has green on him now.
Yeah,
And
and
it's never anything big.
it's never anything actually significant enough to feel like you buy the battle pass because there's that thing at the end that looks amazing or has
Yeah,
this special whatever, and people can just buy their way to the end of it if they feel like it. In most battle passes, you can purchase progression. I want to
mm.
see if that's a thing in battle pass by tiers. Is that a thing
In what?
in the Cold War battle pass?
Oh, you can buy. Yeah, you can buy
You could just
just
buy
like
the
tier.
tiers.
Yep.
I hate that shit. Make it actually progression, not just splurge money and get the end result. Like it oh, it's frustrating. Why is this whole mentality of the games? It's poisoning like the game mode. Like I don't care about the rest of Call of Duty. I don't think that would offend anyone in a sense because a lot of people just play multiplayer anyways, and some people just play the campaigns. But zombies was just its own thing to the point where like people buy the games just for the singular game mode. And with this change, they're acting like people don't do that.
Yeah. And progression on a battle pass is also just like insanely slow
It's insanely
if you're not
slow.
buying tiers.
Yeah, and it really only is effective for multiplayer. Like or Warzone. It zombies, it's like, wow, my friends in my same lobby can see me with a skin.
Yeah.
Like I get that you can use like when it comes to the skins in zombies, I feel like that's cool, but it doesn't have to be just, this integrated. This amount of integration. It doesn't make sense. It's going to pull the game into this weird zone and like we already know operators are coming back, so we're getting a storyline where we're just playing as pawns again.
Yeah.
We're
And it's captain.
it's maybe we get to play as Rambo again, like
Steven
or
Smith.
just all Chuck Norris. I don't know. This all this. It's
See, I
just
I think the skins are kind of funny, but they are like $20 sometimes.
yeah, and it's like people like. I was just watching a video from a guy called it's like the Act Man or something. Um, and it was a video called like why was World at War such a good game? And he when he was talking about zombies, he was mentioning how it adds to the immersion that you're playing as these well-written characters, at least well-written in a sense that they have funny quips and it kind of fits their character, what they're saying in this weird situation.
Yeah.
It's like even Black Ops 4, for all the issues it had that immersion still. You still were playing a zombies game, and there was still like a point where it just gets far too hard. I feel like with Cold War, it gets harder, but it's almost never unmanageable. You have to make multiple mistakes. And it just leads down this I guess my whole thought process about what Cold War is just a misstep that's not going to stop stepping.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna go back to how it used to be
Yeah, it's just
at
gonna do
all.
it a jig, and, at some point they'll be like, "Well, zombies isn't doing well anymore. Let's stop doing that." I wonder why. Especially now that they're just cramming it into like, not even Treyarch game. It's not a Treyarch game. The zombies mode is being developed by Treyarch, and I feel bad for the zombies team because now they have to work on Vanguard zombies when they've probably just want to start working on the zombies mode for their next release of Call of Duty. And I just don't think that's like fair when you give these companies this sort of model of how they're going to create games, even though the model is completely uh, just money based in the first place. It just seems so like it's just another like kind of punch in the gut.
Yeah, it's really something. I generally I don't think there's ever gonna be, like, another Chronicles thing.
Hmm.
They probably won't have the time at all for anything like that.
Yeah, there's not going to be any interesting, cool extra stuff because that's what the zombies dev team did when they had extra time. They created such like they did what they did for Black Ops 3 where there are so many maps you can play on Black Ops 3. Like
Not
there's
to mention
all
the mod tools that,
yeah,
like,
they
they just
they
gave out.
added they added mod tools to Black Ops 3. I still can't believe they did that. That was like it just I think they might have this is just, dumb speculation. It's like 'cause those mod tools came out after Black Ops 4, like, and
Yeah,
it's just a very they're like, "Well, we're in this situation where we know what's coming. We're going to be basically change zombies is changing. We're gonna be working, like, all hands on deck on" and I've also seen stuff that says, like, the zombies devs had to work on other aspects of the COD games, like getting certain things for Warzone out on time. Or dumb shit like that.
yeah, they probably focus more on Warzone than pretty much everything, honestly.
Y Yeah, because it's all about this. Because there's progression within the games, but now there's also just an overall progression of Call of Duty in general, and Warzone is the pinnacle of that because it is the just ever-changing game, and they want people to play Warzone over anything else because they keep releasing games because they they want the end game to be everyone is just playing Warzone because that is the easiest profit. Like they just keep updating Warzone. It's minimal cost because they're not developing new games every single time. It's just we've gotten a bit off topic from I guess zombies. The very like talking about zombies gameplay, but all this stuff affects zombies, so it's just so
Yeah.
shitty to see. But so D D Machina, good map. We were just left with it being our only option on PC, especially for so long.
Yeah,
It,
definitely got sick of it pretty quickly. The
yeah,
only thing there.
and then there was Firebase Z. I think we almost didn't even finish the Easter egg because it bugged out on us so many times.
Yeah, it was like it was a really simple Easter egg, and I think that's, like, all the Easter eggs in this game. is that they're
Mhm.
actually not difficult to do,
Yeah, they're very easy compared to the
but
other
they're
games.
also just like there's like nothing in it really.
Yeah, they're very bare bones. They're very like just go grab this thing. I think one of the more involved things was that weird like map thing that we had to do on Firebase that bugged out when I tried to do it and it wouldn't go away when I got off the console.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that was real cool. I mean, it's just so and then that map has like no replayability. It's so basic.
I got bored with it like pretty much instantly. I
Yeah,
did like
we
a couple of solo games where I was waiting for the Easter like for us to do the Easter egg and stuff.
mhm.
And after we did the Easter egg, that was pretty much the last time I touched it.
The coolest thing was a bug where you could skip a barrier.
Yep, that was pretty cool. They kept that in for a bit, so that was all right.
Yeah. And then um Mao Der Toten. I felt like that was the most it was not it was a big map, but it didn't feel like a big map in a way. It was a very I felt like it was a good map.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, the
I
Easter egg
definitely
was pretty
needed
cool.
like to know what happened in Onslaught. There's an Onslaught Easter egg where like
Yeah.
you had to do some things, and then that's how like the pilot who got like
Oh
captured by
yeah. Yep.
Kravchenko, and you had to rescue him, and that's pretty much how it started.
Yeah, I never did that.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, because we could talk about Onslaught now. Well, because that did
Yeah,
come out
Onslaught was probably
between
after that.
Firebase Z. Onslaught, I remember playing it like the day of. I played a solo game and was like, "Oh, this is neat." And then I was like, "But this is all I do?" Like this
Yeah,
this
it's
is
just like survival except more.
yeah, and it's like in an open area so you could just run away the whole time and it's just like it's like why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Like why would I play this game mode?
If you think like the base round base maps are easy, then like Onslaught is even easier.
Yeah, cuz then we played like one game of it and I think I was like I'm bored.
I played like quite a bit to get the camos done, but even after a while, there's so many kills you have to get with camos to get anything.
Oh yeah, camos shit. I did a bit of that, then I just was like, I'm just not the person to grind for that sort of stuff.
I got pistols and shotguns like all done, and that was it. That was basically the end. That was like during D machine, so
Oh wow. Yeah. I feel like it could have been a cool game mode, but it like everything in Cold War, it felt kind of just slammed together. And then there was Mao Der Toten, good map. Uh like I felt like the Easter egg was pretty good. Kind of stressful, which I liked, like the having to do the uranium shit.
yeah, that one felt like somewhat tougher than the other ones.
Yeah, because there was a lot of time like there's just
And I don't think
something
it bugged out. Actually, it might have bugged out.
it bugged out on us one time.
All right, maybe every one of these Easter eggs except D machine bugged out.
Yeah.
Except the last one too. That last one didn't bug out at all.
We had to restart it for some reason though.
I think it was because round 30.
Oh yeah, we were just too high
It was
round.
like super high round.
But I like the mechanic with what's the robot's name again?
Oh, it was German. Klein? I think it was Klein, actually. Yeah.
Something yeah, Klein. I thought that was he once we realized how he worked, it was like, oh, this is like a pretty interesting kind of mechanic thing. And wasn't it made the Easter egg interesting. And I watched speed runs of that map. It's nuts what they do to optimize him. I thought like that map was the coolest map when it came to I feel like just all the mechanics coming together. The boss battle was a little like just bullet sponge whatever.
It felt all of it didn't feel as like strenuous as like D Machina's whole like ending segment.
Yeah.
But like it
And
felt like a boss battle.
yeah, D Machine's ending segment was a lot of fun. I did not like the ending segment of the last map, Forsaken.
Oh
I
yeah,
I so because we can move on to that. Wow, what a what a map to just end on.
I think honestly that map is like really good for camo hunters and people who like to grind out the
It seems like
equipment and
that's what
stuff.
they're building the mode for.
There was like so many like tough enemies. I mean, like like
Yeah,
mini boss enemies, so you can
and
get like a lot of your camos done.
I wanted to give them credit for the arcade stuff, but when one is basically like, it's knocked
If one is
and
recycled from D Machina and the other isn't even like a
it's
thing,
not
like I thought
even
it was
Horizon
actually
Rock. Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, I could have fucking just like punched my wall when I just see their eyes and drop. I'm like, oh wow, cool. So they have knocked. Uh, they've rebuilt at least the starting room, and they make it like this fun little mini game. That's so cool. Uh, and then you realize that not. It's literally they were making that anyways and scrapped it and just threw it in there to like use it in some way.
yeah,
And
it was
then
just kind of weak.
they bait us with Der Eisendrache. They're like, "Oh, Der Eisendrache pinball." It's like, "Oh wow, we get to go to Der Eisendrache and do the like, maybe they'll just let you in the courtyard or something, or in the
Do any part of the
power
map.
room. Yeah, do any part of the map, like something
For a
like that
second, I was
main
like, "Hey,
chamber."
they put effort. They might have put effort in this map.
Yeah,
I
this
know it's
might
from
not
the
just be a
campaign, but they might have
recycle.
done something."
And then you load in, and you are on a floating platform with a dragon soul container. Ah.
And that bugged out for me.
Yeah, it did. It bugged out for
Mm,
me too. So
mm.
no, there was a bug on that map.
That didn't lock me out. It, like, kicked me out of it eventually, so, like, cool. And it's not like that was important to the Easter egg at all.
Yeah, but then you like start walking around that map and you realize how fucking barren it is, how fucking bland it is. I thought that map was one of the blandest like zombies maps they've ever released. And
I
it's
think they released worse.
I don't like it just felt like such a I couldn't recognize anything to get around that map properly. Especially since a lot of it was literally like it wasn't really linked. They had you use teleporters. So it's just this mon- like monotony of like you're in one area teleporting to another instead of any proper link to them. And I feel like that makes it more confusing. And I don't know, 90% of the buildings like just not mattering at all.
Yeah.
The starting area being just this fucking whatever. And also the starting sequence just I think it was interesting that, it progresses the rounds and everything.
Yeah, it was like Moon kind of. I mean, it was, like, less it was way easier than Moon, honestly. It's like
Oh
Moon at
yeah.
least, like, is tough.
Well, and you
You
can't even
start, like,
farm
going through
points
there.
on it because of the new point system in the game. And that's a whole can of worms, the point system. Literally dumbed down the entire point system to allow like this. Instead of being able to farm points effectively in early rounds, it is just a clusterfuck from the very beginning. Like you're just thrown into the action with what like I I thought rarities was an interesting mechanic. I don't think it works in zombies. I really don't like that aspect. I liked the way just different like it you would think it would give each of the guns like some amount of individuality, but I think it took the gun's individuality by making everything scaling. Like pistols can be like a 1911 can be basically as good as an AK-47. Like what the fuck is that?
I think they did that only for making the challenges easier. Like, this game is really basically just built around grinding.
Yeah, it's all about the progression shit. And like
And, like,
oh,
so many perk effects are just locked behind grinding.
yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
get speed cola initially. It's like 15% faster reload speed, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's trash. You have to grind to make it not trash instead of it just being a thing in the game that you spend points on. Like, getting rid of the perk limit didn't even matter because most of the perks feel like they don't do shit. Like, even it feels so, like, weird to be, like to have all the perks in the game and it just feeling so, like, eh. Mostly because I haven't felt like grinding to upgrade these new perks. And I grind zombies because it's fun. I don't grind zombies to grind fucking tiers and, like, ability level ups and shit.
I'm not really the type of player to do like high rounds, really. Anyways,
Yeah, like, I and it's you just wanna play zombies to play zombies. And I
here's the
might
problem: they didn't have like every like, usually like maps have different things for what a player wants to do.
Mhm.
Like they had speedrunners, yeah, but they also had like the people that grind. But there's no real
It
story. There's not
yeah.
like good characters. There's not like the gameplay's okay at best.
Yeah, they've really made the game they instead of having this game mode where people can take it and sort of m pull it to their sort of style, it is now a game mode that has been geared towards certain type of players, and it's because those certain type of players will spend money.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, it's and I have I don't think it's a controversial opinion, but I think exfil was a bad thing to include overall.
Kind of a hot take.
I think exfil is a complete just counterpoint to the entire point of the game mode
It like kind
because
of ruins some maps like lore and stuff.
yeah,
There's one that was like, hey, these are about to open a portal and kill everybody.
yeah,
And
I
it's like, oh, you want to leave? All right.
you can just leave and let the world fucking rot. Like you can exfil from Mao Der Toten without a pilot. Like without
True, that guy's like, hey, we're gonna kill your pilot if you don't do this, and then you can be like, hey, can I
y-
leave? And I was like, yeah, you can leave.
it's just such a and it's because it's progression based as well. It gets you more loot, it gets you more XP instead of just dying. Like
I don't know.
that's
I don't know if you know this, but like the zombies actually do not speed up until like round 50 something.
they don't start running faster.
Not until way later.
Yeah, I mean, because they start out faster in general.
They kind of do.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like what playing through rounds, especially early, feels like such a fucking joke. It is in the older games. It was there's a very clear progression of rounds where, like you just mentioned with the speed and everything, it's like till you get into like the 30s and 40s, like it doesn't matter if we weren't doing Easter eggs, I don't even know why we would play the game because you have to get through 30 rounds before it really feels like it changes at all. And if you haven't, if you've been getting good enough points and everything, like by round 30, you're just set. There's just such a, they've basically made early rounds feel useless. Like they're just kind of there. And you just play through them, and then it's like, okay, the game is a game now at like 30 or 40 after you've played for I mean, it's got you've been playing for almost an hour at that point.
Yeah, this game is definitely not one of the better zombie games.
Yeah. And I'm just sad because I don't see them ever going back on it because of this decision of progression being such a key motivator. And it doesn't like you see, the roadmaps for the seasons and crap and it just seems so minimal, especially when these games are launching with so little. And you just see how they approach like they give more definite details for multiplayer in Warzone, and then they just say, "Oh yeah, zombies has shit coming. Are we gonna tell you? No, because we don't know ourselves."
I definitely don't know what's happening. Pretty much, if you liked old zombies, uh, probably dead now.
That's the whole that's my whole thought. It's like it's gone. You like they put out Black Ops 3 mod support. Just the community will keep the like keep that sense of zombies alive
Yeah,
for
I
a
played a
while.
lot of community maps, and they're honestly like a lot. There's a lot more effort for such a small team,
Yeah, it's truly insane
and
how
it's way
much
better.
effort is put into them. Like full on Easter eggs of these and when these people make these very big maps, they put so much attention into them. Like obviously there's a lot of shitter maps, but even the shitter maps are fun cuz they're funny.
Yeah, I like the Simpsons zombies one. That one's really good.
Yeah, or the fucking
And then there's people that would just make like entirely different games. You remember that Nightmare map that
yeah,
we played?
they
That's like in
made
a whole different game,
yeah,
and they made
they
it in the zombies engine.
made it in the zombies engine. They made it this like horror like they they have just pushed those mod tools to the absolute extreme and they do it because they love the heart of the game where the heart of the game has been fucking ripped out by the companies that have made it and are just kind of doing a fucking jig on it. Like, oh, it
I don't think the community is ever gonna get mod tools for Black Ops 4 or Cold War since it's on BattleNet now.
yeah, and
Unless they can somehow just like make people download it or let people download it.
I mean people were modding uh like people modded World at War, people modded Black Ops. I think there was some amount of modding for Black Ops 2. Like people are modding it, but giving the community the tools to make content just helps, foster
Yeah,
that sort of
it
thing.
makes it so much easier.
It's
It lets
still
your community actually carry your game, honestly.
it really feels like Treyarch in like right before they really got pulled hard into this shit. We're just like, "Hey, here's the tools. You know, if you want to play this type of zombies and have new experiences in this type of zombies, you're going to have to do it yourselves." Because they are now just working with no end in sight on zombies for it feels like such a nearsighted like way to do the zombies mode. Like no one people want zombies all the time, but they would rather Treyarch get their time to make it right, like make the mode like the missteps of zombies would be considered like the launch of Black Ops 2 and Cold War in Black Ops 4 in almost in its entirety for most people. Black Ops 2 launched with some pretty iffy maps, but then really hit its stride uh, partway through releasing DLC. And then Black Ops 4, it's kind of just a mixed bag. They tried to change too much of certain elements and it was garnered and Black Ops 4 just didn't launch well in general. And the reception of
Yeah.
it led to such a massive deviation.
Honestly, it's just a shame because Black Ops 4 was honestly really good. I didn't hate the perk changes as much as other people did.
Mhm. My only big qualm with Black Ops 4 is Voyage of Despair.
That's that's the only problem. That map is not even that bad.
I hate it. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
be
what
honest.
it is. I like that map has a lot of cool things on it and like I love the way the map looks. I do not I I get like 10 minutes into playing it and I want to like gouge my eyes out. It it brings out this very visceral anger.
there's really like good map design in Black Ops 4. It's kind of a shame that like it kind of killed the series.
Yeah, because I mean, it had some very good maps, and it released with 3 maps. Like, it came out with
Oh yeah,
3 maps.
you had plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah, you had plenty of stuff to do. You like, each map had it had, like, varying levels of difficulty in, like, just detail when it came to the Easter eggs. Like,
Some of
what
those
is
Easter eggs are pretty easy, not too difficult to do.
like, exi is it XI or what was the
9 was we did
9?
9.
Yeah, we did 9. That was
We
pretty
also did
easy.
Tag Der Toten, which is actually pretty simple, but like it was also like a pretty cool one
Yeah, I
for them to
liked
do.
it that just reminded me of how for Tog, they basically both Tog and the final map Forsaken both end with like the sequence of you like in this little area having to travel. I found that such a weird thing for them to do. I I
I
I
mean, they pretty much why not why not reuse what we got?
yeah, it I was just like, are we just playing Tog again? Like and then oh
No, because
gosh.
that's a good map.
Yeah, it's a good map, exactly. And then I can't get over how much I dislike like that final portion of Forsaken. Having just this
The
weird
boss was it was just lame.
yeah, it was just lame. They tried to make it super spectacular, and I always think it's kind of weird when the maps like and they don't even do it for a lot of maps where they make you fight in this area that you've never been in.
Honestly, I
For
felt
the
like it was missing a map. I think they replaced a map with just Onslaught stuff. I don't think that was like such a great idea.
it was probably a dev time thing. Like everything seems to have been for these games. Just not having enough time. And it's I mean, I don't think I'm gonna buy Vanguard. And I
I'm certain that like eventually it's gonna have the round based map in it, and it'll probably be like $40, and maybe I'll buy it. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I'd rather just play any other zombies game.
I'd rather go back to Simpson Zombies.
Yeah. I'd
Honestly, the
rather
community is just gonna carry zombies until Treyarch figures something out,
if they
and
do.
I'm hoping on it.
I'll play Fall Guys Zombies again. That was an interesting experience. Um
It was something.
it was something. That map was infuriating, but yeah, I think that it's just a dark period, for zombies. It's just gonna be this kinda and I feel bad for, like, people who make zombies content because for one thing, that's been since Black Ops 4 especially, it's been kinda going down the shitter. But so many people have started to really pull out of making zombies content, especially between Black Ops 4 and Cold War, and I feel like more are just gonna keep going away from it as
Yeah,
they do.
they kinda had to be like switching from like primarily just only zombie stuff to being just a Call of Duty YouTuber
Yeah,
at
either
this
Call
point.
of Duty or, like, Variety if they're, like, a streamer. It and
Yeah.
yeah, they have to make other content that they may not wanna make because and I guess it's such a weird take to have, I guess. It's like, "Wow, the games suck, and it's affecting the content creators that make content about the games." But it's true, in this weird sense. It's maybe a little bit of, like, entitlement. I feel like people would see it as entitlement, even though it's just like,
Yeah.
they're just making worse games. So why don't they just go play something else? It's like, well, because these people have been playing zombies, love zombies. Like, and Treyarch used to be so good about working with the community, like talking with the community, having them come out and play test things, like all kinds of things. And that just feels like it's not there anymore either.
Yeah. I'm not like gonna hate the company, honestly. Like, I don't hate Treyarch.
Well,
I
yeah, I
love I
don't.
love what they did.
Yeah, I don't even
Just like
blame.
they're in a rough patch right now.
They're in a rough patch. If I were to blame any company, it would be just Activision, since it's the
Yes.
controlling body. It's the most. It's Activision Blizzard for like God's sake. They suck.
Yeah, they figured out what's making the most money, and they're just focusing on that.
They're letting the boardrooms make the game design decisions.
They're laying off workers, and then they just keep making shitty content.
Yeah, they're making a shit ton of money while laying off workers, paying people too much for things, and giving bonuses to high ranking like board people. Like I remember seeing the article where it was something like they laid off a bunch of Blizzard employees, and the head of Blizzard like the executive of Blizzard or Activision Blizzard had just gotten like this crazy bonus or something. It's just like, how is this okay? How is this how you operate a company when you're laying off the people who are creating the entity that is bringing in profits, and then forcing others to cram to keep making the same product?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I've yelled about this enough. It's just, it's not going to change overnight. I think there's a lot of people who just, mindlessly buy the new COD game, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I feel just as they continue this weird way of dealing with the games, like if everyone most people would probably agree they could have stopped making new Call of Duty games years ago, but they wanted re- continuing to release games was what was making them any money. And
Yeah.
they had to start doing all this weird futuristic shit which no one has really liked. They haven't implemented it well enough for it to be fun. And with that, they're changing up how the game works instead of keeping to this classic style that they kind of hit around like Modern Warfare through like Modern Warfare 3-ish time period. And that is just, garbage.
Yeah. Cold War is just very disappointing. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that they can somehow go back. I don't think they can, but there's always hope.
Yeah, it's hoping that somehow Activision gets hit. Like Activision would have to start losing money, and I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. So, oh goodness. Well, I think we'll end it right there. It's been about a little under an hour. Um, Chuck, what is your
That's me.
Twitter?
My Twitter,
Yeah, is it
it
spook?
is at Spooky Ghosts, and there's a 0 in there for the second O in
Yeah,
Spooky, but that's about it.
I will put that in the thing. I just I am Hunter. I don't know what I was about to go on a fucking tangent again. God damn it. Um, I'm Hunter. Follow me on the social media things. Um,
And yeah, I'm
and
Chuck. Don't follow me.
yeah, don't follow Chuck. He's kind of smelly, to be honest. And uh, Activision Blizzard should pay their fair amount of taxes.